So now, pipe command in Linux. So the basic concept of the pipe command, you know, I'm coming. Let me open this. Let me open this resource so that we can be able to understand something. So, okay. Let me look for the pipe size. Pipelines. Okay. Now, as we're talking about pipe the other time, uh, there's what we call pipe in Shell, and it's under like filters where you can actually collect inputs. You can actually turn an output into an input. Okay, so what we call about the pipe command, the basic concept of the pipe command is that the pipe command collects the output of one command operation, and then it serves as an input for another command operation. So the concept is that output of one command operation serves as input for another command operation. So this will be a command, like for example, we have cat, a file, and then we have the pipe symbol, and then another command will what performed on it. For example, if we should have let's say this school file cat school, what this cat is to do actually to output the content of school to the screen, right? That's what it's to do. Now if we now do cat school, and then I pipe using this symbol, I'm piping what instead of it to output the to give me the output to the screen, it is going to send it like an input. Okay, but I'm using pipe. It's going to send it when this pipe operator appears. It's going to pipe it into this less command. So the less command, it will take the output from here and then perform less on it. Okay, so it will now look as if I'm writing less school indirectly. So if I run this now, you can see, as we know that the less command is for what? For reading files or for displaying files in a paginated form, like as if it is in pages. You can see the content of the school has been what? Has been opened, and we have an end here. So to always go out of the list file, we use the queue. So the concept of the pipe is to, you can pipe as many commands as possible. And let's say let's say we want to echo we want to echo hello. Now basically hello will be what displayed to the screen, but we don't want it to do like that. Instead, we are piping it into that it should do, what should you do on the hello this thing? We should take it, what can we do? We can do word count, word. So we are piping the output of the hello command, and then we are running the word count operation on it. So it will count what? The words from this echo. Of course, this is just one word, and what we should receive is one if I run it. So you can see the output is what? One. And if I cut school and I pipe it with word count, of course it will give me the number of words there, and we have what? 9 words. And I can even cut school and print the number of line there. Probably I want to count the words and the line too. So it will give me 2 line, 9 words, using what? The pipe command. We can do as many possible operation that is with that is possible. So looking at this is a pipeline, the capability of commands to read data from standard input and send to standard output. Hello guys, are we still there? Let me see. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So collecting from standard input and then sending it to another standard input. That is what the pipe does. So using the pipe operator, the standard output of one command can be piped into the standard input of another. You can see. Look at this. This is to list what? To give a long listing of the content of bin, which is inside the user directory. So now, instead of outputting to this, it is now sending it into the less command, and it will what? Output it like a what? Like a document. Let us do something. When we do a long listing of this directory, this current directory that we are, this will give us this. So we don't want the output to come like this. We obviously can say long list and pipe it into less. Can you see? So it's as open like a document. Now we can now add lots of um command together. We can concatenate, that is join different command. For example, I can do less long list pipe it into less, and then I can say redirect it, instead of it to even project, redirect it into this directory dot text. If I let less and I cut this directory dot text, we will have this. Even though this does not make sense, like I can practically do long list L, and then you know if this doesn't make sense, I can practically do long list L and then redirect it into this directory.txt. But what matter most is that ability to pipe different command into commands. It is very useful, especially when you are trying to create um a logic, or you are trying to even create probably an algorithm, or you are trying to solve something, you know. So that is that. This now let's go on to see some of the power we can apply. So this is extremely handy. Using this technique, we can conveniently examine the output of any command that produces standard. Now there's something. Now we can use this command. We have sort, we have unique, we have edge. For example, a project is coming in ALX. We can say let's list. We can say from this school file, if I cat school, let's see what is inside. We can actually specify that it should display only the uh first 10 word or first 10 character on the first line. Let us take a look at this command called add man add. Look at set add actually outputs the first part of file. It can print the first 10 lines of each file, or as many. So now we have the flags. It can print the first number bytes of each line. It can print the first line with number lines, okay. It can print the first n lines, okay, probably first 5 lines and so on like that. It can print q, we have all of this like that. So let's say we want to print just, we have another one called man tail. It output the last part of file, okay. So let's say we want to output the last part of a particular file, so we can do cats school. Of course it will print school, but we want to pipe it into this tail, and then it should print what? Only the last part. But to use this tail command, let's see. um Look at output the, if you want to output a particular line, output the last number of n lines instead of last 10, or use, okay. Let's even just run, let's run cat school and then pipe it into tail. It actually outputted everything. But let's say cat school, the last tail, let's say second line. Okay, I'm not using that. So cat school till n2, the last two line. Let's say cat school till the last line. Can you see? I'm trying to introduce this concept to see all these possibilities, so that, of course, we are just playing around the shell. We have not, we can actually devise a particular thing to do, but these are possibilities. We have the head, we have the tail, and we cannot use, you can use the head, the tail, the less command, and so on, or sort, unique, and all of that. You can use all of these command in conjunction together to perform an operation using the pipe. Let's say we want to search we want to search through, let's say cat school, we want to search through this school file, okay, and we want to look for every string or every text that has data in it. How many data do we have? We have data, we have just one, two. So we want to highlight or search for every of the string data. There's an handy tool that can do that, and it's called the grep or grep. Okay, so let's come to that. The grep command. This command is used for searching files based on a particular pattern. So we can search for files in the shell based on a particular pattern.